Hey everybody, CW here, Card Wolf, because I am always on the hunt for great cards. Today, I've got a new product to open, and you know, if you watch the channel, what a sucker I am for things that show up in tins. And this is another one of those types of products. This is 3 football packs plus 2 bonus items. I have no idea what those could be. They didn't have many tins to choose from, so this is a Joe Burrow tin. I'm not a Joe Burrow fan by any stretch of the imagination, and this is even a slightly dented Joe Burrow tin, which I think tells you exactly how I feel about Joe Burrow right there. He plays for the Bengals, of course. He's their star quarterback, and he's in the same division as the Ravens, who are my favorite team. So not expecting much out of this, but we'll see. It says you can look for hits, hobby packs, extra packs, rookie cards, and more. And I bought this one because there were two or three others on the shelf. Trevor Lawrence was one of them, and if there's a quarterback I dislike more than Joe Burrow, it is Trevor Lawrence, that's for sure. And this was also the heaviest of the tins that were still left on the shelf, and I thought, you know, maybe that means there's something really great in here. I don't know. This is also not branded in any way. It does not say that this is from the Fairfield Empire, who usually does things like this, or from any of the other companies that do these kinds of things. It has no name anywhere on here. So I don't know. I was kind of interested in the mystery of that and what that could mean. Maybe there are vintage packs in here. Maybe they're brand new. Maybe they're semi-modern. I don't know what we're going to find in here, but we're going to find out together. That much is sure. Wow, that is really stuck on there, so I'm not going to mess with that. All right, we get a Teeny Mates pack. That is pretty cool. I'm going to actually put that aside for the pack opening machine to open that one. I was not expecting that to be in here. I guess that's one of the, you get 2 bonus things, I think it said. Look for, 2 bonus items. So this must be one of the bonus items. Set that to the side, let my son open that. Then we get a relic card right off the top here. That's pretty cool. Relic card of, I cannot even read who that is. Who is that? It's Gaines Adams. And this is from 2007 SPX football. Gaines Adams, who I do not remember at all. But that is a Buccaneers relic card there of a player who apparently played in the NFL at least once in his life. So we'll put that over there. Now we get to the packs, and we'll see what we get out of here. And put this Joe Burrow tin somewhere else. What are our packs? There are 4 packs in here, and they are indeed a mix of vintage and more modern. This is one I've never opened before. This is kind of interesting. This is a 2003 Pacific CFL football pack, Canadian Football League trading cards, inaugural issue, and you get 5 cards per pack. I've never opened one of these before in my life, so that's going to be new. We get a nice 2024 Prestige pack in here. That's pretty good. 10 cards in that pack, and you can pull some nice inserts and, of course, autographs and things like that out of Prestige. And then we get 2 Pro Set packs, which I have to say I'm a little disappointed by, but that's probably why it was so heavy, because you had these 2 Pro Set packs in here. These are, I believe, 1990 packs. They don't even say that on the front, but I've opened a lot of Pro Set in my life, and I'm pretty sure these are 1990 packs from Pro Set, and they are about the most common cards that you can find if you collect football. This definitely, for those of you who see this in the stores, this definitely was not worth the money. There's no question about that. There's nothing I could pull out of these Pro Set packs that I can think of that would justify that. If we get a really big hit out of this Prestige pack, then maybe we could justify the expense, but I don't see that. Super Bowl 6, Cowboys-Dolphins, great Super Bowl, though a very low-scoring one for the Dolphins. Chris Hinton, tackle for the Colts back when they were in Baltimore. I believe they were still in Baltimore in 1990. Carl Zander for the Bengals, and Joe Walton, the coach for the Jets. We got Garen Veras for the Patriots. Buddy Ryan, there you go. Hall of Fame coach there, Buddy Ryan with the Eagles. Michael Walter and Albert Lewis. We got Aaron Jones, good defensive end. Mark May, very good offensive lineman there for the Redskins, who were quite good back then. Steve Pellier for the Cowboys. You think with a name like that, he'd be in the Canadian football pack. Steve Pelleur, or Etienne Pelleur, as he's probably called in Canada. Sammy Winder, good running back there for the Broncos. Really good player for them. I'll show you the backs of these because you do get a different photo on the back than on the front. Sammy Winder looking inquisitive there. Marv Levy, Coach Levy, maybe the greatest coach in Bills history. Marv Levy, really good coach for them during the Jim Kelly era. Nico Naga for the Cardinals and Joe Kelly there. And then we get a propaganda card goes in there. Skip over to the Canadian football pack. You can get jersey cards in 1 in 16 packs. This pack is so thin, I would be willing to guarantee there is no jersey card in here. But maybe there are autos, who knows? Again, I've never opened this pack before. Never even seen this product, 2003 Pacific Canadian Football League. And we'll see how these look. Pacific always made nice cards, but I wonder if I will recognize any of these players. Only if they left the CFL to join the NFL am I likely to recognize that. We got Jason Tucker there for the Edmonton Eskimos. There we go. Ricky Ray. Getting a lot of alliteration out of here. The Edmonton Eskimos and Ricky Ray. All alliterative. Mike Bradley. That one has red lettering down at the bottom. I don't know if that means it's... I guess that means it's a parallel, I'm assuming. Anyway, there you go. Mike Bradley, red parallel. Albert Cannell from the Calgary Stampeders. And he is apparently a slot back. I'm going to show you that. Slot back, which is not a position name in the NFL, but I believe is, I don't know. I think it means cornerback, but I could be wrong. One of you who lives in Canada and follows the CFL can educate me on that. Defensive back here, Gerald Vaughn from the Ottawa Renegades finishes off that very interesting pack of players that I am not at all familiar with. So there you go. I think Mike Bradley was the red parallel. All the rest of these look more or less the same. There are the backs, which are incredibly boring, but they do at least have photos of the players that are different than those on the front. Let's get to this next hot, sweet Pro Set pack here. These are you've never seen me probably open one of these on Dorking with Dice because I actually don't put these in the box because I just feel like, I don't know, there's some packs that even if I have them, I just don't put them in the box because I feel like you guys have probably seen them opened a gazillion times, and unfortunately you'll see another one right here. Start out with a Super Bowl card, much as we did with the first Pro Set pack. This one for Super Bowl 11. Vikings Raiders. I remember that Jim Plunkett Super Bowl well. I think that's who played in that one. I'm pretty sure. Dave Krieg there, pretty decent quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks back then. Brad Edelman. And Kevin Mack, decent runner for the Browns. James Hasty. With a name like that, you'd think he'd be a running back, but no, he was a cornerback, and a pretty good one, too, James Hasty for the Jets. John Frank and Alan Pinkett, decent running back for the Houston Oilers back then. Vance Johnson, good wide receiver. Tim Harris, good linebacker for the Packers. John Settle and Jamie Holland. We got Andre Reed. There you go, Hall of Famer right there. Andre Reed, definitely an excellent player there for Marv Levy's Bills. Shout out to Bills Mafia Cards. Haven't given him a shout out in a while. Great channel, great person. We got Henry Ellard there, who I think also might be in the Hall of Fame. Henry Ellard. If he's not, he's definitely a borderline case, in my opinion, Henry Ellard. Ernest Givens, wow, another good, 3 really pretty good wide receivers in a row right there. Andre Reed, Henry Ellard, and Ernest Givens. Be happy to have that tandem on my team back in 1990. Pete Mandley and another propaganda card. So I'll leave Andre Reed on top because that is, I think, the best card that we got out of those two redoubtable Pro Set packs. We come to our last one. Let me not forget this relic card of a young player who I honestly have no recollection of. Gaines Adams. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, there you go. Did get a relic out of there. And maybe we'll get one out of this Prestige pack 2024. 10 cards in here. And this is, I think, going to certainly be the highlight of this Joe Burrow tin, which I knew when I picked it up that I should not have brought that home, but I couldn't resist. There's something about tins. I don't know what it is. I see sports cards in tins, and I'm like, oh yeah, we've got to try one of those and see what we get. Let my purchase be a lesson to you and avoid these new tins like the plague that they are. Hayden Hurst there for the Chargers, despite being in the Panthers uniform. We got Marcus Allen, great running back there for the Raiders, and of course Chiefs as well. He's certainly in the Hall of Fame. And DK Metcalf, who is no longer with the Seahawks, I believe. He is with the Steelers. I'm pretty sure that's where you find him now. Joe Montana, of course, another Hall of Famer right there, quarterback for the 49ers and the Chiefs. Sam Laporta, who is a really good receiver for the Lions, a guy who I think is a little bit underrated maybe. Joe Burrow, wow, we get the Joe Burrow card out of the Joe Burrow tin. I feel like that doesn't happen very often, so kind of interesting to see that. And then we get Jalen McMillan. That's actually not a bad rookie card there of that young player for the Buccaneers who drafted him. And Jaden Daniels, well, hello, there we go. Now we're talking. That is a nice card. Nothing wrong with that. Sweet rookie card of Jaden Daniels. Well, how about that, guys? That actually kind of saved this tin. We've also got a backwards card. I'll save that for last. And there's Puka Nacua for the record. 1486 receiving yards in 2023. He is their star receiver, though look out. This year, the Rams also have Davante Adams joining the roster, and the combination of Davante Adams and Matt Stafford should be quite interesting, I think. So we got two pretty decent cards there. The Jaden Daniels is definitely a winner. Let's see what this backwards card is. It's Derrick Henry from my Ravens. That's pretty awesome. So that pack saved it, in my opinion. That's pretty good. Still probably not worth the price of entry on that tin, I'll tell you that, but still nice extra points foil of Derrick Henry there. Nice card that I will definitely PC. So there you go. If you see one of those tins on the shelves, that gives you an idea of what you might find inside. When I saw it wasn't branded and it didn't have Fairfield or anything like that on there, or Panini or anything, I thought there's probably going to be some junk stuff in here, and those Pro Set packs certainly fulfilled my prediction, no question about that, though my son will enjoy this. This is going to be, and these are brand new, this is 2025 as well, so that'll be a lot. I'll give you 2 figures, 2 puzzle pieces, and a collector sheet. So 2 figures, wow. Seems like in the old packs you'd get 3, but I don't know. Everything changes these days. Nice Jaden Daniels card, though. Pretty happy about that. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing this rip. I'll be back tomorrow for a pack battle with Average Joe, and it's going to be a good one. We've got some fun stuff planned for that. Thursday is Anything Can Happen Day, and I will tell you right now, channel teaser, I don't usually always do this, but I'm opening something on Thursday that is very, very unusual. I've never opened it before. I was really surprised that I was able to get a box of it. It's something that I got through a source of mine. They were like, yeah, I'll sell it to you for my cost, and so I got a box of it. It's very unusual. It is a non-sport item. It's not Pokemon. It's not something you've ever seen me open on the channel because I've never had one before. And it's going to be very interesting. I think it's something you'll enjoy. High-quality cards, I know that much about it. And cards that came not from the U.S. These are cards you cannot buy in the U.S. They're from overseas. And again, it's not Pokemon. So it's something I think you have never seen but will be really interested in. That's on Thursdays, Anything Can Happen Day. So look forward to that. Of course, Friday's Dorking with Dice. I will see you back here tomorrow. And as always, happy collecting.